Trick or Treat from the Sun, Part 1. Patricia was in a tight spot. The key to her apartment wouldn't turn in the lock. She set the heavy bag on the dirty floor, took a breath, and used the back of her hand to brush away the hair in her eyes. What the hell was going on? Patricia even stepped out of the vestibule to check if she'd jumped out on the right floor. That's right, it was her floor, the fifth, and how would she open someone else's vestibule with her own key? The second attempt to open the lock failed, and Patricia, really angry and perplexed, pounded on the door with her fist. It was a long minute. I'll be damned, I don't understand anything. Maybe the daughter-in-law did something wrong? Maybe she's put some of her relatives in while we're away. I'll call her. In her purse hanging over her shoulder, Patricia found her cell phone. Just then, movement was heard outside the door. Patricia tapped the door twice with the toe of her sandal and shouted irritably, "Open up. I can't even get into my own house." "Mom, it's okay, it's me, I'll be right there." In front of Patricia's wide-open eyes, her favorite son appeared. He looked a bit disheveled and held his forehead, pretending to have a headache. Gary's clothes were a pair of underpants that had slipped down his underpants and his father's t-shirt. "What are you doing here?" "I took a day off work, and my head hurts so badly, and at home, you know the kids are screaming and yelling, and you can't get any rest," Harry said, turning to let his mother come in. "So I thought I'd better rest at your place." "Why are you here so early?" "I had a change of plans." "Let me through, why are you standing there like a statue?" Patricia pushed him out of the way and started unbuttoning her sandals. "Ouch!" shrieked her son and clutched his head tighter. Patricia was frightened. "What is it?" "Yes, headache, just horrible, and you have nothing at home from the painkillers." "Well, let me go to the drugstore." "Thanks, Mom, I'll give you some money, here." Harry fidgeted with the purse on the nightstand. "Let me reach for the bag and stop by the store." Patricia reached for the coat rack, but her son beat her to it. "I'll get it." Patricia saw what her son was trying to hide, a woman's sandals with thin heels and something yellow, like a woman's dress, lying in the passage between the living room and the hallway. She looked at her son in astonishment. Harry flapped his eyelashes innocently. "Keep the change. Run along, Mammy, and I'll lie down, I can hardly stand on my feet." Patricia was so shocked that she pretended not to notice. As she walked out, she looked back at the windows of her apartment. She thought she saw her son's silhouette standing behind the tool, watching. He has a mistress. He brought some home, broad. That's news. The realization made Patricia sweat. Sweat beaded on her forehead and her blouse was instantly wet under her armpits. Not to say that she loved Gloria, her daughter-in-law, and she was satisfied with her son's way of life, but still their marriage was 7 years old, they lived normally. Of course, her daughter-in-law was a pain in the ass, she had pulled Harry under her like a bastard, but Harry didn't grumble much. And they had a second child because Gloria decided to. How old is that grandson now? 8 months. So while she's out there suffering with a 5-year-old and a baby, her son's in bed with someone else. Patricia could have expected such a setup from anyone, her husband, Gloria herself, Gloria's mother after all, who had given birth to 5 children, but not Harry. Frankly speaking, if it turned out that it was Gloria who was cheating on her husband, the situation would not be so difficult, because it's clear whose side to take and who to hate. But the son. It's not that simple. When Patricia returned to the apartment, the woman's sandals and dress were gone. The son was lying on their matrimonial double bed and gratefully accepted a pill and a glass of water from his mother. "Where are the groceries? You said you were going to the store." "Groceries? I forgot. I didn't have time for groceries." "What's wrong?" Nothing. Nothing. Why did you change the sheets?" "Yeah? Soiled it. I threw up a little. I did the laundry." Well. Whether to talk to her son or not, Patricia hadn't decided yet. In the kitchen she found 2 freshly washed glasses with water droplets glistening on them and an empty wine bottle hiding under the sink. This discovery dispelled her last doubts. Patricia lay down to rest in the living room. Not half an hour later, her son felt better and started to get ready to go back to work. "Nice pills, Mom? I'll have to remember the name," he said, buttoning his shirt in front of his mother. He looked pleased, his eyes glistened dreamily and his thoughts were occupied with something pleasant. "So take them with you, in case your head hurts again." Patricia wasn't going to stay home long, she planned to meet her friend. What else was there to do? They don't trust her grandchildren, they don't even let her take the eldest with her. Gloria doesn't let her go, she's afraid that something might happen to him. Patricia took offense at first. As if she couldn't take care of a child. She raised her own too. And the poor grandchildren sit all summer in this stuffy city, seeing nothing, and Gloria, she's the kind of person who doesn't tolerate any interference in their upbringing. Don't take offense, Patricia, but Christopher comes back from you terribly spoiled. We have discipline and strictness, and after you he stands on my head for 3 days, only a flogging can knock out the dope, scolded her daughter-in-law mother-in-law. He doesn't clean up after his toys, he gets cranky with food and keeps whining that he wants to go to his grandmother, saying that his grandmother is better, kinder. You think I like hearing that? So, the mother who makes people out of them is bad, and the grandmother who blows in his ass and allows him everything is good. Or are you making such a dissonance on purpose to show me in a dark light? I've had enough of your Harry with his messed up head. Only strictness, a clear schedule, and when everything is in order, only then there will be order in life. Gloria said it once, said it twice. Patricia didn't know how she should behave with her grandson. Her daughter-in-law rarely let them near the baby. All by herself, the Iron Lady. As long as they had a child, no family gatherings went smoothly, always Gloria made a scandal with her husband because of the child's upbringing or an empty offense. There were 2 opinions in the world, one hers and the other wrong, and until Harry began to obediently follow his wife's rules, it was up to him. Sometimes Patricia tried to stand up for her son during these arguments, but she regretted it. It turned out that Harry was also against his mother's meddling in their family affairs. "Stay out of it, Mom, we'll sort it out without you." In general, Patricia spit on everything, let them live as they want. During the quarrels of the young, she became silent, just like her husband, even resigned to this way of life. In spite of the disagreements, her son's family seemed strong, and if it suited her son that a woman took the place of a man in their family, then so be it. By the way, Gloria was an excellent hostess, everywhere clean and tidy, money for a rainy day. Gloria kept up with everything like an ultra broom. And such terrible news, her son has a mistress. What was he missing? Maybe affection, romance, warmth of heart. You can't expect such things from a piece of iron like Gloria. But they still have a family, children. Patricia decided to share her son's mischief with her husband. The answer was, stay out of it, let them deal with it themselves. But Patricia felt that this is a sign of fate, that not for nothing she caught her son with his mistress. It was God himself giving her a chance to save the marriage. She dressed up and went to visit her daughter-in-law. In the evening, her son worked at the hardware store until 10 o'clock, so there was time to talk to Gloria face to face. Her eldest grandson greeted her with cheers of joy, and the youngest was also happy to sit in his grandmother's arms. The daughter-in-law greeted her mother-in-law as coolly as ever, no smile, no kind word. Patricia knew what was wrong, now Gloria resented the fact that no one helped her with the children. "Gloria, you look sickly, pale, blue circles under your eyes," Patricia began delicately, as she thought, sipping her tea and nursing her grandson. She decided to keep silent about Gloria's weight, knowing from her own experience how it could offend her daughter-in-law. Gloria's figure had completely deteriorated after childbirth, she had gotten fat. "You have to give yourself some slack, rest sometimes, nothing will happen to those floors if you don't wash them once in a while." "I can't live in filth," Gloria countered, "in case you haven't noticed, I'm the only one who's been pulling it all together. Harry's been a little strange lately, he's been flying around in the clouds, and he's got more work, He says there aren't enough consultants in the store. He comes home and he's dragging his feet. But you have to look after yourself. Patricia looked at her daughter-in-law's unkempt hair and stained t-shirt. The house is clean, the children are well groomed, but she's soiled. Patricia, the daughter-in-law made an iron voice. Are you here to humiliate me? I'm not pointing out your faults, though you're not the first lady either. Gloria, that's not what I meant, Patricia flared up. You can leave the kids to me, and you can go out and get cleaned up. I don't need to clean myself up, I'm fine as I am. And after your help, I'm sorry, the place will be a mess. What do you want? The conversation was clearly going in the wrong direction, not where Patricia wanted it to go. It was like they were from different planets. Gloria dear, you? See, men. They love with their eyes. Let them love with their eyes. They're the center of the earth. If you're talking about my relationship with Harry, we're doing just fine. Are you sure? Why wouldn't I be sure? Gloria rounded her eyes and then narrowed them. Has he complained to you? Did he say something about me? No, no, no. I'll show him how to complain to mommy, he'll forget the way to your house. And you go home already, you're just nerves, as always. Patricia felt guilty, but at the same time she felt like a sludge, so she decided to let them deal with it themselves. She would have to take the keys away from her son, so that she would have nothing to do with his adventures. But how to do it under a plausible pretext, she did not realize. Moreover, her son came by once every couple of days to feed their aquarium fish. Patricia left for the country house, with nothing, but her son's mistress was never out of her mind, and her husband was stubbornly stubborn, don't meddle where you're not asked. A week later, her son called her and voiced a strange request, Mom, if you get a call from Gloria, please tell her that I'm at your place, that you need help at home. You see, I want to go fishing with my friends for a couple of days, and you know how Gloria feels about such trips, she will then take my brains out for 6 months. You tell her it's an emergency, that your roof is rotten, for example. Patricia's been hit with cold water. Where are you going? I told you, I'm going fishing. Is that a regular fishing trip or a mermaid fishing trip? Shit, Mom, what are you talking about? You see, I'm like cattle in her pen, but let me at least for a couple of days to breathe, Harry said anguished. You're my mother. All right, I'll tell you, Patricia agreed reluctantly. On Saturday, Gloria called her. Calls from her were rare. Hello, Patricia. Has Harry gotten to you yet? His cell phone's off. Patricia pressed her lips together nervously and looked around to see if her husband was around. She walked around the garden. Yes, Gloria, he's on his way, his phone's dead and there's a problem with the charger. I'm on the 2nd floor now and he's in the garden with his dad, can I take a message? Tell him oh, speak up, I can't hear you. Hello. Hello. Patricia, hating herself, grabbed a chip wrapper that had fallen under the apple tree and rustled it at the receiver. Hello. I can't hear anything, I'll call you back. And she yanked the phone squeamishly away from her ear. Oh, my God. Why had she gotten herself into this? To be continued.